Welcome to Collision Hub News Network, your new home for the collision repair news and information you need to know to make 2016 your business's best year. Each month, our team of respected leaders will present segments covering the complete spectrum of our industry, from estimating to leadership to refinish, all aimed at taking your business to a new level. So let's get started. In this episode, photo appraisal and the law. What states are changing? Are advancements in OEM finishes impacting your paint department? The legal implications to technicians of a bad repair. Is the march of the consolidators over in 2016? Go 360 with iCar and the Ford F-150. And that's just the first 15 minutes.
In today's collision repair environment, you need a partner who cares about meeting the needs of your customers as much as you, and one that understands the pace of your business. The training and dedication of our 24,000 employees allows Hertz to provide world-class customer service and seamless integration into your workflow while providing the daily support you need most. That is why we promise to do whatever it takes to not only keep up, but to move ahead. Hertz is ready. Are you?
As 2015 came to a close and 2016 dawned, 2 states saw legislation that could mean major changes to the way automotive inspections are conducted. In December, the Pennsylvania House of Representatives passed House Bill 1638, which amended a 1972 law requiring insurance appraisers to be present for all automotive inspections. The new bill will allow appraisals to be done in a variety of ways, including photography. The law retains the customer's right to choose the method of inspection. The bill states, an appraiser may not require the submission of photographs or videos in order to obtain an appraisal. But it opens the door to new options for virtual inspections that have the repair industry split on the implications to the consumer. This month, a Virginia state senator pre-filed legislation allowing photos of collision damage to be part of the appraisal process in the state for the first time in 40 years. The language of Senate Bill 193 is similar to the Pennsylvania bill, but still suggests an appraiser be present to perform a personal inspection. However, it will allow the photo desk review to be the final repair appraisal. Both bills aim to expedite the appraisal process and meet customer service expectations, say their supporters, while others worry the appraisals could be less accurate. The National Autobody Council officially donated its 1,000th vehicle through their Recycled Rides program at a special event this month in Palm Springs. The goal of the NABC's Recycled Rides program is to refurbish and donate vehicles so recipients can obtain employment, take care of their families, and improve their quality of life. Since the program's inception in 2007, members of the NABC have completed more than 65,000 volunteer hours, donated $4 million in parts and services, and awarded more than $12 million in refurbished vehicles to veterans, active duty service members, and struggling families. Visit the NABC website to learn more about how you can participate. A county judge in North Carolina has ruled a Chevrolet dealership must pay out more than $400,000 in damages and costs following an ill-repaired Land Rover LR3. The dealership was found to have negligently damaged Benjamin Ridley's vehicle. The LR3 was first repaired by City Chevrolet after an accident and again returned to the shop due to tire damage having not been repaired despite a charge for new tires on the original estimate. The vehicle was kept at the shop for an additional 3 to 4 months before returning it again to Mr. Ridley, according to Operations Manager for CHNN Collision and expert witness in the case, Michael Bradshaw. After post-repair inspection, the vehicle was found to have fractured frame welds and the SUV was concluded to be a total loss. To learn more about this claim, visit the CHNN Collision YouTube channel for the full video of the reinspection performed by Michael Bradshaw. The legal implications of a bad repair can go far beyond a financial judgment from a jury. Not doing one's job properly can be career-ending, but in the auto repair industry, failure to do one's diligence can also be life-ending. Last year, a Vermont mechanic, Stephen Jalbert, was accused of manslaughter and reckless endangerment relating to a car crash that happened 2 months after he inspected 83-year-old Elizabeth Iby's 1992 Chevrolet Corsica. Jalbert is accused of having failed to properly examine the vehicle. The crash, which killed Ivy, was caused by unsafe corroded rocker panels and brake lines, resulting in the vehicle's brakes giving out. Ivy hit a tree, spun out, and was fatally injured. Stephen Jalbert faces 16 years in prison if convicted. He has pled not guilty. The case has sparked debate around our industry on the implications to collision repair facilities and insurers for failure to complete a proper inspection and estimate or perform the proper repairs. It was hard to follow any other story in 2015 than the march of consolidation. We saw more single store owners and privately held small MSOs join the ranks of companies like the Boyd Group, operating in the United States as Gerber Collision and Glass, Abra Autobody and Glass, Caliber Collision, and Service King. And while the Big Four were growing quickly, none had gotten close to the two at the top of the list, each with approximately 450 stores, Maaco and CARSTAR. Then, to the surprise of many, right before SEMA, Driven Brands, the parent company of Maaco, announced it had acquired CARSTAR, pushing them as a group over the elusive 500 store mark. Then, before the year could close, Driven Brands followed up the announcement by also acquiring the 230 locations of CARSTAR Canada, catapulting them to over 1,000 locations in North America. One thing is for sure, growth will be harder in 2016. With the disappearance of the small to medium MSOs through prior acquisitions over the last 2 years, there will be no more rapid growth by purchasing volumes of stores. Rather, the Big Four will have to work harder to grow 1 to 2 stores at a time, while the franchise models will be looking for those wanting to retain their business but be more competitive. One possible result could be the return of the industry business focus on the single shop operator. Many of our industry vendors and even our trade shows pushed focus to MSO operations over the last 5 years, leaving less and less staff and services focused on small business.
Our nation's veterans deserve our help finding rewarding careers, and our industry needs the strong work ethic, dedication, and values they've proven while serving our country. That's why 3M partnered with the Collision Repair Education Foundation over 4 years ago to start the Hire Our Heroes program. To date, 158 tool grants and scholarships have been awarded to deserving veterans and their family members. Now you can help support our industry and our veterans. When you donate just $200 to the Collision Repair Education Foundation, specifically for the 3M Hire Our Heroes Fund, we will send you this calendar full of patriotic photos and inspirational quotes that also contains coupons with $1,800 worth of exclusive promotional offers. With your help, we hope to raise another $500,000 million for our nation's heroes. Visit the Collision Repair Education Foundation website today to make your donation.
It's hard to deny the role color plays in a vehicle purchase. As a result, the OEMs continue to push the envelope with color and applications, and some of those decisions could be having an impact on your paint shop.
An important topic for today's body shop owners and painters to educate themselves on is the complexity of OEM colors. Color drives the purchase of cars. When a couple goes to the car dealership, the first thing you notice about a car is its color. OEMs are trying to differentiate themselves from the other motor manufacturers, and it's almost become like a competition of who can do the most complex color. That in the refinish industry has caused some heartache when it comes to learning when the color that's on this vehicle being repaired is in fact one of these complex or exotic finishes. You have cars like the Nissan GTR that has code KAB, or you have the new Lexus that is out. They have a new blue and a new red that are both true candy paint jobs from the OEM. You have 3T5 and 8X1, which are at the factory painted like quad coats, where they paint the ground coat first, then clear coat the vehicle, then sand the clear, come back and put a true candy layer over top of it, and then clear coat it. And when that gets into the shop, you've gone from where it was a base clear or a single stage, or even our most complex paint jobs years ago were a 3-stage paint job, a tri-coat white or a tri-coat red, like 4D9. Well, those days are gone. We're now dealing with vacuum metallized aluminums and silver ground coats with candy over top of it. And when that comes to writing the sheet or getting the right amount of hours for a paint job, it may not just be as simple as I have damage on this door, I need to blend into fender or rear door, or just replacing a bumper. It could mean that for a dent on a door or damage that's on the side of a door, you may have to refinish the entire side of that vehicle or do what we classify or call a zone paint job, where you're painting from the headlight to the tail light to just fix a small dent that's on the door. Or it could be you need extra time to tint or color match that color so that it's so close it can be panel painted. Some of these candy paint jobs that are coming out cannot be blended. You cannot take a red candy or a blue candy that's sprayed over silver and actually blend it without creating a halo or a shadow where you're trying to blend the base coat out and then start spraying the mid. So even with those paint jobs, it's more critical to make sure when a car comes into your shop, you can identify an exotic finish. If it is one of these exotic finishes, do we need to change up our repair process? Should we get some of the paint company professionals involved? We need to make sure we let the insurance agency know and get the customer involved. Make sure the customer is aware that because they have a car that has one of these finishes on it, this is the repair process. This is why we're gonna have to paint your matte BMW the whole side of the car. It's because matching the sheen of a matte paint job on just one fender when the whole car is matte is very, very difficult. You know, another important consideration is the equipment that you're spraying these exotic finishes with, like the KAB's vacuum metallized flake or the Lexus 3T5 candy apple red. To spray a color like that, you need to make sure that you're using equipment that the spray pattern has even distribution from top to bottom, from side to side, something that's not actually going to cause blotch. Speaking of blotch, you look at a color like 800J that for quite a few years there, from the factory, they were modeled in blotch. How do you match or blend blotch? I mean, it is a difficult situation. The last place that you should be finding out about one of these exotic finishes or one of these blotchy OEM finishes is when the car is in the booth. As an owner, as a painter, as an estimator, you need to educate yourself. Where do you go for this information? Well, some of the path of least resistance is tech bulletins from the OEM. Lexus put out a tech bulletin right away when that car started hitting the shores of the US. Another great location is your paint manufacturers. They're matching these colors, they're matching these vehicles from the exotic colors to the matte finishes at their laboratories so that when it gets to your shop, you have formulas for these colors and they can match. So those are a couple places that you can go to educate yourself and get information on these colors. And remember, it doesn't just end with knowing the car is a car with an exotic finish or a matte clear coat that's on it. Having the right equipment to spray those colors and matte finishes is critical as well. And join us next month where we give you more information on growing profitability in your shops.
Since the launch of 90 Line 25 years ago, Glazerite has been a leader in refinish and waterborne innovation. Today, Glazerite continues to offer innovative products with the introduction of 8 high-hiding waterborne toners. Glazerite Color Advanced Boosters. Glazerite Color Advanced Boosters offer many benefits for collision repair facilities. Ultra-high pigment concentration enables better hiding with less material consumption. Reduce 90 line base consumption by up to 50% with the Color Advanced Boosters. In some cases, these boosters completely eliminate the need for gray shade undercoats. Fewer coat applications allow for shorter process times, generating higher daily booth throughput. Finally, you can lower your material consumption, increase your profits, and decrease your process times. Please contact your BASF account representative for questions, or visit us at basfrefinish.com.
Thanks, Chris. As today's cars continue to advance, it's pushing the need for increased training. In addition, it's forcing shops to upgrade their equipment to be capable of performing the repairs and meet the requirements of the OEMs. One large investment for any repair shop is their welding equipment.
We want to take this opportunity to share some information about resistant spot welders. We know as you're out there looking for equipment, it's a big purchase. You want to make sure that you're getting the most for your money and something that's going to last you for a long time. So first of all, let's talk about what a spot welder is. So resistant spot welding, we're applying an electrical current through a material. The resistance in there is going to create the heat and actually fuse the two together. With the new materials that are out, it becomes even more critical that we control the heat and make sure that we're not damaging the metal as we're trying to fuse the two together. When we look at welders, one of the first things that's going to come up is the power. For a spot welder, you're looking at 3-phase power. There are some older welders that were single phase. Typically a single phase welder, we're going to have to lengthen the weld in order to get the amount of fusion that we need, the amount of energy. That heat dissipates farther and can damage the material. We also need to know what the welding current is. So if I have that power coming in, how much am I able to put at the tips to actually generate that weld? For example, this welder is a 12,000 amp machine. So what that lets us do is you're putting the energy in quicker, again, letting you do the work, get out before the heat dissipation can affect the surrounding materials. Another key aspect of the weld is the squeeze pressure. So typical welders will be anywhere from 600 foot-pounds to 1,200 foot-pounds. Cooling is another key feature. So welders are typically either air-cooled or water-cooled. If you're looking at water-cooled, you need to find out where all it's water-cooled. We're water-cooling all the way to the caps, our transformer, and then at the power module as well. So everywhere that we're generating heat, we're cooling the system. That allows us to get a longer duty cycle and let you keep welding. What most welders today have gone to is a semi-automatic or automatic function where I can select the metal type and thickness, and then it'll set the parameters for me. The newer welders, what we call smart welders, they'll determine the type and the metal thickness themselves and set all the parameters accordingly, so there's no input needed. It's not enough to select the settings up front. How does the machine handle the actual weld? Is it monitoring the weld and adjusting it during the weld? Any kind of a readout on the screen to show how many amps were actually used. There are a couple of types of guns. Usually you're about 8 feet from the welder. Transformer is inside. The other style is what we call a trans gun. The transformer is now built into the gun itself. So now in this case, we're 20 feet away from the machine. Gives us more flexibility as you're moving. You don't have to keep maneuvering the machine. And it also is much more forgiving on power. Next thing you want to look at when you're looking at the machines is the different options that are available for arms. What the arms do is they make sure you have reach to get into whatever situation you need. Another option that you may want to include is a multi-function gun. What that does, that allows us to do single side welding, dent pulling, shrinking, that sort of thing. And the final thing as you're looking at welders is you need to look at who you're buying it from. You should be able to have good training to make sure your technicians are all familiar with it. You also need to make sure there's a support structure there, so if you have issues, they can be resolved quickly. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free to contact us. We're glad to answer anything you might have.
This vehicle is built with an all-aluminum body structure that sits atop an HSLA 550 frame. Ford also has built a number of advanced safety features in America's most popular vehicle. Ford has done a great job of building this truck with repairability in mind. For evidence of that, we don't need to look any further than the apron tube. The previous generation truck had an apron tube that extended into the cab and was spot welded to the cowl. To remove that apron tube, the instrument panel, cross-car beam, and other interior pieces needed to be removed, creating a rather intrusive repair. On this generation, the apron tube is attached to the A-pillar and doesn't require removal of interior parts. With the hood, fender, door, and bumper removed, the rivets and flow drill screws are accessible for part replacement. Ford has designed a lot of repair options into this truck, making it one of the most repairable vehicles on the market today. For more information on that, visit icar.com and register for the 2015 Ford F-150 Structural Repair Training Course.
one thing is for sure, like any other vehicle, ensuring a proper repair on the Ford F-150 is dependent on having access to the OEM repair information during the appraisal and repair. And here's Larry to talk more about where to find OEM information for collision repair.
Hi everyone, welcome back again to Collision Hub. I'm Larry from P&L Consultants, and we're here this month to talk about OEM repair information and the importance of having it. In today's age of advanced material type vehicles, along with the massive amount of computer components inside of a vehicle, this is especially true when we have mixed materials such as steel and aluminum are together, or in the case of some vehicles that have laser welds. What we need to understand is that there's two major ways to get the repair information that's out there. One is obviously through the OEM. iCar has a portal that you can link up to get the OEM repair website information. They even have some of the OEM position statements and even some of the repair procedures right there for you to download. If not, there's a link to the repair site. Some repair sites for the OEM are free, others are pay-per-view or a pay subscription type. When you're on a certified collision repair program through the OEM, part of that agreement with working with them to be a certified repair facility is that you have the repair information. And in actuality, they do check to see how many times you're going on to check the repair information while repairing their vehicles. Another way to get repair information is through AllData. AllData is a third-party provider that basically is allowed to reprint the OEM repair information. In some cases, you can't find the repair information in the OEM repair site or in the AllData information. So what can you do? Well, you can try fixing it your own way, which is not usually a good idea. iCar has a link called Ask iCar, where they'll go ahead and they'll get the repair information for you. Now, why do we need repair information? Well, it tells you how many welds you're putting back in an area. It's telling you how the panel affixes to the car. It's telling you where sectioning procedures are. It's telling you the type of materials that are being used on the vehicle, such as the different types of foams, the different types of adhesives, or even in some cases seam sealers, rivets, flow drill screws, any other type of material that have to be purchased from the OEM. Another interesting thing they have on there is material composition substrate locations and the megapascal or tensile strength ratings. This really lets you know how much strength the material has and classifies it as mild steel, high strength steel, ultra high strength steel, or even advanced high strength steels. Other information that's in the repair portal sites, such as the OEM or AllData, would be mechanical information. A lot of times you guys are doing some mechanical repairs to a car. Sometimes there's certain resets that have to be done, or even in some cases, stuff that you have to send to the manufacturer because you need specialized software. And the last thing that would be in those OEM website or AllData for the repair information is position statements, such as aftermarket parts usage, wheel repair, wheel damage, suspension component replacement, and then obviously position statements for used or aftermarket components for outer body panels. So hopefully you realize the importance of getting OEM repair information, and we'll see everyone next month. Thank you.
This is Michael. Michael runs an auto body repair shop. To keep an eye on customer satisfaction, Michael uses all the best tools available. With Update Plus, Michael is able to keep good communication with his customers. Michael is also able to get real-time feedback from his customer the same day they pick up their vehicle. With these positive reviews, Michael is already using the feedback to help improve his shop. But what if he can do more with this valuable information? Introducing Autobodyreview.com, the site that will help your customers find the best body shops in their area. How? Shops can make a profile on Autobodyreview.com, which includes pictures, a description, industry certifications, and even allows potential customers to make appointments, which means more business for shops just like Michael's. Autobodyreview.com will immediately display those verified customer reviews to his Autobodyreview.com profile, so all that valuable information gets put to use. Get your Autobodyreview.com profile today.
They call him the Body Man. Not because he's built like a brick outhouse or because he can bench 400 pounds, but because he can take a crumpled car and, like magic, turn it back into sleek, shining metal. Give your body man what he deserves. Cubitron 2 abrasive discs, wheels, and belts.
Achieving success in any endeavor requires a plan, and repeating that success daily in our industry requires a set of plans that everyone in your business can follow. Now here's Scott to talk about the importance of SOPs.
Did you know Hertz was founded in 1918? As we approach our century mark, we know our success has been built on partnerships, as well as a spirit of continuous improvement while keeping our focus on the customer, just like your business. Our years of experience have proven that companies with very solid processes in place achieve the most success. In our industry, those processes can carry many different names, but are most commonly referred to as SOPs, or Standard Operating Procedures. Setting up a standard operating procedure requires good communication and transparency, and of course the persistence to keep trying until it works. For many, the persistence is the hardest part. However, having a solid set of SOPs for your business operations can enable you to run your business more efficiently and with greater profits in the day-to-day of the collision repair industry. But it will also set you apart from your competition in those unexpected moments of crisis, which seem to come up weekly. For Hertz, establishing SOPs with our partners reduces surprises and enables a much higher level of proactivity for our employees and yours. Keep in mind, there is no one-size-fits-all. A process or procedure that works well for one business may not be a good fit for yours. Each SOP should be customized to work for your business. But in general, they all entail a high level of information sharing between all parties. The goal is developing SOPs that reduce customer wait time, reduce customer surprises, set the proper expectations, and improve your overall customer service. For Hertz, those SOPs work to ensure we have the correct car at the shop staged and ready at the correct time, or to have the car ready for the customer at our branch. The process is designed to reduce customer wait time and eliminate surprises. Our data shows that each extra minute the customer has to wait beyond their expectation reduces our Net Promoter Score. And once the mark of waiting more than 15 minutes beyond their expectation is hit, it's nearly impossible to recover the customer. And I purposely said the word expectation because that is a very important part of the process. Together, we have to be aligned with what the customer expects and set that proper expectation right up front, and that hopefully enabling all of us to exceed their expectations. Or said another way, we'll underpromise and overdeliver. These same customer service expectations are driving your business as well. Our data also shows that our partner businesses like you that have developed and implemented solid SOPs have the best customer service scores, operate the most efficiently, and are the market leaders in their areas. I hope today that I've properly outlined the need for SOPs in your business for 2016. If you'd like to receive more information on developing processes for your business or ways to improve your customer service, please reach out to your Hertz location manager and area manager. We'd love to hear from you.
The ProSpot i5 Smart Welder is designed to handle all of your collision repair needs. With Auto Weld Mode, the i5 measures, senses, and welds consistently every time you pull the trigger, regardless of metal thickness or type, ensuring a factory-quality repair. The high-resolution full-color touchscreen display simplifies navigation through more than 4,000 OEM repair screens. The updatable software features weld data and repair recommendations from the top automotive manufacturers. Raise your shop's collision repair IQ with the ProSpot i5 Smart Welder. Call your local ProSpot distributor today for a demonstration.
Thank you for watching the inaugural episode of Collision Hub News. We hope you'll make CHNN your new home for the collision repair news and information you need. Want more in-depth coverage of the stories you heard today? Please visit Repair Driven News, your daily source for information and editorial features for collision repair. Make sure you don't miss a single episode in 2016 by subscribing to our YouTube channel below. Join us next month as we cover tiered labor rates for collision repairers, estimating tips for non-included operations, and your State of the Auto Industry report.
This program is brought to you through the support of these sponsors.
This is CHNN.